You're the same as me, but when it comes to love, you just find it. Baby, please come back.
Another beautiful day in Portland, man. And it's Monday. What's the date today? I don't know. It's just going right by. July 19th. July's almost over. Boy, we've had the greatest summer this year that I can remember in a long time. Anyway, Bob Richardson has his Neil Macfarlane interview posted up there at YouTube, Portland Transport, and embedded on my blog. And check it out. You know, the more I see this guy Macfarlane, the more I like him. You know, I had the wrong impression of him when he was the director of capital projects, because he was always very demure. But now that I think about it, he didn't want to get in the way of, didn't want to get in Fred's way, I bet, you know. So his personality turns out a little bit different from what I thought it was. Of course, he's speaking all the right stuff at the moment, and I like the way he seems to be more interested in talking to people like Bob Portland Transport, and I just like the way he seems to be more in tune with just regular people. You know, Fred was not. Fred was an elitist, if there ever was one. And you know, Fred never had any of these real news conferences with Portland Transport people. We never saw Fred in a bus. Those are all good signs as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he seems to be able to move fairly easily with the peons, which is something that Fred never really did. I mean, he did it, but you know, it was always that act that he had. You know, that smiling. So I like this. I like it. I like it. I hope that it's genuine. I hope that it's not some kind of a act. You can never really tell at this level of executive level. You can never really tell whether these things are genuine or whether they're an act. But it's all the right messages, and that's good. And I just like the way he looks like he's a transit person, and he acts like it. He was involved with transit, even though he wasn't directly involved. He's been associating with transit people on one level or another. I mean, he's been in the executive levels, but you know, he's been here, what, 19 years or something? And that has to count for something. Got to learn something in 19 years. So that's kind of a happy surprise for somebody like me, a TriMet watcher, to see that he's actually more to him than I thought there was going to be there. So we're really happy about that. And then, you know, I've been like scratching my head with all the safety stuff. What kind of crazy? And then I finished watching. Well, I haven't quite finished watching, but I've watched most of the TriMet June board meeting, and then I saw David Sale, and then it all came together. It's like, oh, so that's what this is all about. I get it now. Boy, I really feel for Mr. Sale. He's hurting, boy. I mean, he's really a hurting dad. And I really started looking at David Sale in that last presentation. Then I started looking at his daughter. And I ended my video with a shot who's zooming in on her. And you can see that they look like each other. You can see that you can see that the eyes were, the way they look, you can see something there. So I can see why he's so hurting. This is hard. I don't know how we're going to get through to him. This is not a culture that is unsafe. It's just not. That's a wrong impression, and I don't know how you've gotten that. Let's see some reckless driving on the highway here. I don't know how he's gotten this impression. Look at him just tailgating that little car and work truck with insurance. I'm not sure with this impression of like we're a culture who disregards the safety of the public. I'm not sure where that came from or how this got started, but probably the media. You know, the constant pounding of the media about how awful we are has taken its toll. But it's not true. It's not true at all. It's completely wrong. Not to say there aren't some drivers who are bad and bully their way up the road, but geez, that's not the rule here. That's the exception. And I don't even think that, I don't really know anything about Sandy Day at all. But from what I've been told about her, she was not a reckless driver. This is one of those accidents that was just look, we got a guy right on my, look at this guy. He's right on my tail. They're all, you know, on the highways, you can always count on people to act stupid. You're worried about terrorists when all we should be worried about is these cars here. We keep saying it over and over. Of course, nobody cares. Yeah, the culture is not an unsafe culture. That's wrong. And I don't know how TriMet's going to get that through to him and the rest of the public when you have the media pounding false messages constantly. The media is constantly pounding how unsafe we are, and that's what's happened here. And now we're stuck with this impression that we're a culture of unsafe drivers, and nothing could be further from the truth than that. Unfortunately, the gas combustion engine is the real culprit here. You will never stop accidents. Never, never, never. No matter what you have us doing, they're still going to happen. You know, and Portland is hazardous. That's a hazardous place to drive a bus. That's why I will not go down there. I knew years ago, stay out of there. That's hazard. That's one place that trouble is always brewing. Every city's dangerous, but I think Portland's even more dangerous because of the bike culture and the pedestrian culture. Pedestrians in Portland don't even look when they start crossing streets. They just walk. I'm not talking about anything to do with the sale case. I'm talking about just in general. They'll just be walking down the road, la-di-da, and they come to an end of the sidewalk. They won't even look to see that there might be somebody coming down the road. I mean, I've seen it a million times. I live in Portland. I know how they behave there. It's a very dangerous city, and one of my bicyclists that I've had on my bus forever says that's true. She says that the whole idea that bike lanes make you safe is actually wrong. They make you unsafe because it creates this zone of, well, it's safe here, but it's not. And I think this whole attitude of being this friendly walking, biking city has added to the danger for those of us in motorized traffic, and people that aren't paying attention adds to our hazard. So I think that's part of the problem too here. But TriMet culture is not unsafe. It's just not true. Now, you know, obviously I don't know everything about TriMet. I only know my little corner of TriMet, but the people I associate with all have sterling safety records, and many of us do have great safety records, and obviously that's because we promote a safe transit system. I mean, I know that I never would do anything to compromise. Safety is always on my mind, believe me, constantly. And it's also self-preservation. I don't want to be involved in anything, you know. I don't need it. And I know a lot of operators think like that. So I don't know what Neil and the rest of us are going to do about David Sale. I don't know how to get through to him. That's a tough one. I mean, he's still in pain, and this could go on a long time. I don't know how you get through. I mean, and then Darla's the same way. What do they really want? I mean, they want a citizens review committee. What's that going to do? I mean, what will that do? not really sure what they want. I listen to him talking. What does he want? He wants you to talk about safety every... I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, we need somebody to get through to him, some operators or something, to try to communicate with him and try to dispel the notion that we are an unsafe culture, because it's not true.